Hi, I'm Sweet Sylvanians, and I make videos about Sylvanian families, also known as calico critters. And today I'm going to do another tier ranking video. I did one last year with all of the blind bags up until that point, but thought it could be fun to do a seasonal one with the various Halloween sets from Sylvanian families. I have 21 things to talk about. Not all are explicitly Halloween, but have a magical or spooky theme I thought fit with the season. And I'm pretty sure these are all the main release sets. There may be more small items too, like these individual costumes, but I didn't think that would be a fair comparison for the ranking. So as for the tiers, I tried to give them Halloween related names. So the top tier is Perfect Pumpkin. This is for the very best sets which are unique or very detailed and fun and I want to own. The next one is Fantastic, like Fantastic. I use this for sets I really like and would probably get but could be slightly improved. The middle tier I wanted to be okay spooky, but that didn't really work, so it's just ooky spooky. This will be for cute sets which could be better but could be worse, or I like some parts of but not everything. The middle tier I wanted to be then the Halloween tier. That doesn't work so well out loud, but maybe these are a bit repetitive or overpriced for a more simple set. There's got to be a bottom tier, and I've called that All Tricks, No Treats, and this will be for the ones I like the least. Honestly, I very rarely actively dislike Sylvanian sets, so this is just for ones I wouldn't bother getting for my collection. And before we begin, these are just my opinions, and I may not be a fan of things which you love, and that's okay. This tier ranking template is available for anyone to use. It'll be linked in the description for you to make your own one if you disagree. Right, we're going to start with the newest Halloween sets and roughly work back in time. This set was released in Japan this year and it's called the Baby Happy Halloween set and contains 6 babies in costumes. I made a video on this when it was announced. I do like some of these costumes, like the husky vampire and the little bats, but Crime's dress is a bit simple and I have reservations about the price too. It's 4,600 yen, which is quite a lot, so that could go in my middle section, ooky spooky I think. Could be worse, but could be better. The next set is new for this year in the UK, but was released last year in Japan. This is the Halloween Surprise Party set. It's all cats in this set, so Sky the Persian cat's sister, Baby Peppermint Tuxedo, and Reggie the newborn baby. I appreciate the inclusion of a child figure, as you'll see there's lots of babies in these sets. The party theme is lovely and it has a strong colour story too. I especially like these pumpkin bowls too. I think fantastic for this. The Marshmallow Mouse Halloween house is different to that as it has a little building, and the 4 figures are all from the same family. Building is just a recolour of an earlier set, and the pink is certainly different to the usual Halloween colours, but I just don't know if it really works. This is an official shop exclusive, meaning it's pretty expensive. It's £45 in the UK store, and I'm not inclined at all to get it really. Maybe points for the colours and little costumes. I think this will be the first Halloween. Before that set was the Trick or Treat Parade, and this is the first set I'm talking about which I actually own. There's 5 figures in here, all from different families, which is a plus for me, and it includes a unique Milo cake bread who's green rather than the usual brown, as he's meant to be a zombie. I like the little trick or treat buckets and sweets, and also like the costumes they use. Hilton Bubblebrook could do with a hat or headpiece, I think, and I actually made one for this costume in a recent video. I reckon fantastic for this too. In 2020, The Spooky House was released as part of the Amusement Land series. This is fun as it includes Spooky the Ghost, who's a little flocked figure. I have this set too, and it's nice, especially the moulding on the house, but it could have been brought out more if there was some painted parts and it wasn't the solid pink colour. The furniture pieces aren't my favourite either, and I don't tend to use them. Spooky spooky for the spooky house, I think. Okay, so the Magical Babies blind bags aren't marketed as Halloween themed, but I have to include them. As I've said before, these are my favourite blind bags and got me back into collecting Sylvanian families as an adult, so I have a really soft spot for them. These were cheap with great accessories, so they can go in Perfect Pumpkin. The Cauldron and Magical Spellbook are items I love in Halloween setups, and I really like the mix of figures with the Dalmatian baby and Mole, which was the surprise figure. For their 35th anniversary in 2020, Sylvanian families released 35 babies in sets. 2 of them were this wizard duo, which are both cats, and we're fully in the babies only era right now. These costumes are interesting colours, and I like their capes with the gold detail, but they just don't seem very wizard like to me. Maybe if they came with an actual broom or cauldron rather than just the pictures on the packaging. Let's go with Halloween. I guess maybe this isn't a fair comparison as they weren't advertised as Halloween, but this is my tier ranking. This was another set for the 35th anniversary, and it's called the Trick or Treat Trio. Honestly, I'm not a fan of this. The ghost and pumpkin costumes are very simple, and I don't really understand the blue outfit. It's nice to have a Harvey cat, but this might be my first all tricks and no treats. Yeah, I have to make use of all the tiers. In 2018, the Halloween Playhouse was released. This is the original version of the Marshmallow Mouse Halloween house. I think it's better in the orangey tones, especially the pumpkins by the door. This set also came with a little broomstick and stand to help it look like it's flying. This is cute with creme on top. Saying that, these babies are used in a lot of sets and their costumes aren't anything special, so maybe these can go in the middle tier. Now another set of blind bags with the baby costume series. This might be more of a stretch for a Halloween theme, but Matthew Buckley has a pink witch hat, and of course there's the two ghost babies in here too, which everyone loves. The other costumes are more randomly themed, and I guess people do dress in costumes at Halloween too, but I like the classic ones. I guess given that I should put this in a more middling category, ookie spooky. In 2016, the Baby Trick or Treater set was released. This has a pumpkin shaped carriage with creme chocolate, apricot sundae, and sweets from trick or treating. I have the pumpkin carriage from this set, and it's so great for Halloween setups or parades, especially if the costumes make it tricky for a baby to balance standing up. I think that's also quite unique amongst all these Halloween sets. I like all the sweets and bucket, and Creme has a properly classic witch outfit on. So, yeah, perfect pumpkin for this. Now we're in the era of getting lots of Freya's included, so a departure from all the babies. The 2015 Halloween party set had Freya and Tiffany Golightly in some fancy dresses. I do like that this came with some pop-out cardboard decorations, and the dresses are pretty, but the figures have these permanent orange stars on their faces, which I don't really understand, and I think it makes them less usable, or you have to pose them sideways. Maybe Halloween for this. A very similar set in 2013 with Freya and another friend, but this time it was Saffron Walnut. They have the stars on their faces again, but I actually prefer these dresses with the multicoloured stars and that Freya comes with a witch's hat. If they'd given another accessory to Saffron, I'd like this even more, but maybe an extra point for this being the first like this. Let's go Ookie Spooky. I think this set was originally released in Japan in 2011, but the UK in 2015, with the imaginative name Halloween Set. This has Breeze Chocolate and Ambrose Walnut with a slide and toys for some reason. The slide is cute and a bit different, and I do actually like the musical instruments and toys, but it just seems not very Halloweeny. Maybe some people do get toys, but I always think of sweets and candy as Halloween themed. And I like that it's not creme chocolate, even though a sitting baby is less usable. Both the costumes are fairly simple. Ookie spooky for the slide. A temporary break from the chocolate rabbits with this set, which has two Buckley deer figures, which are a family I really like. Maria Buckley is in a pink and black witch's costume, which is different, though it is pretty simple with the plain skirt. The baby has a slight variation of the ghost costume, and there's an additional romper too. But neither of these are very interesting or detailed, so I think Halloween for this. The 2008 Japanese set was this, called Exciting Halloween, though I'm not that excited by it. We've got Freya with a star on her face, Creme and Ambrose Warner in another weird blue costume. It's all very typical figures. Freya has on a black cape, and there's a broom and moving pumpkin, which is also in a few earlier sets. There's also some paper decoration pieces, but overall it's just very plain and samey. Halloween for this too. This one looks even less exciting. It's a flare set from around 2012, I think, and it's basically like the previous set I showed, but without Ambrose, and maybe without the paper pieces too. I think for that reason it's going to be lower, so my second all tricks, no treats. I can't even give any extra marks for Freya having gripping hands. Okay, finally a good one, well, to me at least. This is the Halloween party set released in 2007 in Japan and a year later in the UK. To me, this is superior because of all the accessories. There's loads of sweets, lollipops in various colours, and there's a basket to carry them in. Ambrose comes with an alternate outfit. There's two little masks too, as well as paper pieces. So you can make this scene with just three additional figures. I think this is so much more full and complete for a setup. Freya has 2 stars on her face, and the ghost costume is repetitive, although I think this might be the first instance of it. Perfect or fantastic? Let's go perfect. So the last few sets have had this broom and pumpkin in, which have a movement feature, and this set was the first to feature it. There's magnets in both the broom and the pumpkin, so when you move the broom, it can move the pumpkins. I do have one of these, though maybe from another set, and it's a bit weird, but works okay. Based on the release year of 2006 or 7-ish, this is a Macavity cat rather than a Sandy cat. She's in a black dress and cloak and has a wand and a witch's hat too. It's a couple of masks and paper pieces as well. I really like this for the novelty aspects of the magnets, and the black costume is unique. Fantastic. This next set is kind of different. In 2005, a special carry case was released to represent each month of the year with a baby figure in each, and this was exclusive to Japan. October's has a Halloween theme, and it's a mulberry raccoon baby in an orange romper and pumpkin mask. The rest of the carry case is just card and there's no accessories. I think this is adorable. The baby has to be pumpkin mulberry, of course, and the raccoons are super cute in general. Let's go fantastic because an additional accessory would have been better. And the final set is from over 20 years ago, around 2003, and I've always found this to be wonderful. It's a trio of babies in fun outfits and was also released in the Calico Critters range in the USA. There's a petite bear in a vampire or bat costume, then a Slidell fox baby in orange. I assume it's meant to be pumpkin themed somehow. And finally, a Macavity cat baby in the sweetest little striped outfit and matching hat. The Japanese version of this looks knitted, like the very old rompers, and there's something about this style and colour that I just love. The two pom-poms on the hat is fun too. The baby is holding some sort of beaded stick thing. It has a star at the end of the Japanese edition, but a bead on the Calico Critters one. Even though I don't really understand it, I think this set is great. And it can go in perfect pumpkin because I would love to own it. Okay, so that's all the sets. And yeah, I'm happy with this ranking. There have been lots of Halloween sets over the years, and although there was a period of time where things looked very similar, the more recent set seems to have different themes and costumes. Let me know if you agree or disagree in the comments, and the template to this tier ranking will be linked in the description for you to create your own version if you want to as well. So thank you for watching this video, and happy Halloween! If you like Sylvanian Families content, then subscribe to my channel, as I post videos every week about everything Sylvanian, including news and unboxings.